All right, boys and girls, the World Cup quarterfinals are finally here. And as always, I'm going to predict who's going to make it to the semifinals. We've got 4 amazing games. We got Croatia versus Brazil. We've got Argentina, Netherlands, Portugal, Morocco, and then France, England. Let's go into them right now. What's up, guys? My name is Augustine from DFO, also known as a bit of full opinions on Instagram, and I'm back doing what I usually do, predicting who's gonna make it to the next stage. Without further ado, we're gonna get into the games, but first make sure to subscribe and like the video to support the DFO YouTube channel. Starting off with Croatia, Brazil. Now we're gonna talk about Brazil in that game against South Korea. They won 4-1, but that score should have easily been 7-0 or something along those lines. I gotta applaud South Korea to some extent. They didn't want to park the bus from minute 1. They wanted to keep playing their football, going attacking, but it's just such a risky decision to do that against Brazil, who are so good at counterattacks and who can wrap up the game by minute 20, and that's exactly what Brazil did. We all predicted that Brazil were gonna go through, but damn if that was a masterclass of a performance by pretty much any Brazilian player, and a little bit of a dancing masterclass by Tite as well. But we gotta talk about it. Brazil are probably the strongest team in the world right now, and it's gonna take a miracle and a huge tactical masterclass for this Croatia side to beat Brazil. Don't get me wrong, Croatia is not weak whatsoever, but it's just Brazil might just be too much to handle. I believe there's only one team out there who can stop Brazil from reaching the final, and you're looking at it right now. It's this team right here, but we'll talk about that later. I think Brazil will win this game. I don't know how Croatia might approach it. I don't think they're gonna go the same route as South Korea, seeing as that didn't work out. I can see Croatia defending themselves pretty well and Brazil wrapping up the game in the second half, minute 60, minute 70. So to nobody's surprise, I got Brazil advancing to the semifinals, as pretty much anyone expected from the beginning of this tournament, and I'm sure you guys also predict that. So we're gonna move to the other side of the bracket and get Portugal versus Morocco. Before talking about Morocco, I gotta bring up that game versus Spain. A lot of people are slandering Spain for their bad performance and you know, all this meaningless passings and getting only 1 shot on target. And don't get me wrong, I was one of those people who were slandering Spain, but nobody's talking about Morocco, man. They could have wrapped up the game many times, especially in the extra time. I think Morocco could have sealed the deal. There was a couple chances by that striker Chedira who just had a stinker, but honestly, any other day, Morocco could have actually sealed it. They defended really well, and it's great for them that Morocco, all they had to do was just park the bus and just wait for Spain to attack. And to nobody's surprise, Spain just weren't going into the final third and getting the ball anywhere close to the back of the net. This Spain kept the ball and did nothing with it. Like, what is the point of having 70-80% possession if you're not going to do anything? You're not going to attempt to go forward, try to find your own player between those spaces, between the 2 defenders. They had 1 shot on target. Unbelievable. Morocco, all props to them. They defended really well. They were great on the counterattack, with Ziyech being one of the best ones. They did very well. I gotta give props to them. Can they do the same thing against Portugal? I don't think so, because Portugal are very different from Spain. It's easy to sit back versus Spain and try and get a counter-attack goal because Spain don't do anything with the ball. Portugal is completely different. Portugal has talent all around the pitch, and they're playing some of the best football in the World Cup. And it's not just one player like lifting them up or anything. It's literally everyone is playing at their best. Bruno Fernandes is having the tournament of his life. He either scored or assisted in every game in the World Cup. Joao Felix looks like the best version of himself. Rafael Leao, even coming from the bench, he's incredible. Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't had the best of tournaments, but you know he's always going to be a super sub if he starts from the bench. And if he starts, he's still danger. Cancelo, Otavio, Vitinha, it doesn't matter. They have talent all around the pitch. And I gotta mention, I completely underrated them come to this tournament. They completely shut me off because they're overperforming what I thought they were going to do. If you remember my predictions before this whole thing started, I had Uruguay coming in first and Portugal finishing second in their group. I got to give my props to those Portuguese players, and I apologize to the Portuguese fans for thinking too little of your nations. You guys are proving me wrong, and I don't know how far this Portugal side can go, but I got them coming ahead against Morocco. I think Morocco might try a similar approach that they did versus Spain, but that's going to be costly. I don't think you can sit back too much against a side like Portugal. They're eventually going to get the ball in the back of the net at least once. want. We saw it against Switzerland. They wrapped up the game so early. Huge props to this Portugal side, and also huge props to Morocco for making it this far. But this is where the story ends for the underdogs. Portugal will advance. Before I move on to the next game, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I gotta bring that up because only about 20% of my viewers who keep on watching my videos are subscribed. So even if you think you're subscribed to the channel, just double check for me. And if you're not, just, you know, click it. It takes like 2 seconds and it helps a lot. But yeah, let's get back to the video. Next up, we got England and France with possibly the most exciting game in the quarterfinals. Don't get me wrong, every game is exciting, but France, England, two sides that have been playing pretty good football. I think France has been doing exceptionally better, but it's gotta be exciting nonetheless. I think it's all gonna come down to ultimate experience. Like England have a lot of great players, but they're all so young, and this is like the biggest stage in world football, and maybe they are up to it. But this France side is a side that has been at the biggest stage of football. They won the World Cup already in 2018. They have a lot of the same players, and they're on hot form right now. I don't know how much I trust the individual battles that this England-France game will bring us. Kyle Walker has potential to stop Mbappe, but Mbappe, he'll have one good run, one good skill move going for him, and he'll wrap up the game because, you know, his finishing is fucking insane. Another player, can they stop Giroud? Another player, can they stop Griezmann? Griezmann unbelievably good in this tournament despite not getting a lot of recognition so far from what I've noticed. He's playing a little bit deeper, providing for his teammates. He's been great. You can also bring up Dembele. I mean, you can talk about the individual talent that this French squad have, but it's not just the individual talent. They play great football. They're dominating their games, and it will be very close against England, but I'm gonna say France will win it at the very end. Like I said, I think it's just gonna come down between individual battles within the game, and somebody in this France team is gonna win the game single-handedly. My vote is on Mbappe, but honestly, seeing the talent that France have, it could be anyone. So again, I got France qualifying to semifinals. And last but not least, you got Argentina versus Netherlands. I left the best for last, the best for me, at least. The most interesting, the most anxious game that I have coming into the quarterfinals, Argentina versus Netherlands. I gotta say, I'm really scared, but in a weird way. Let's say we were facing Brazil. I would also be scared of Brazil, but for different reasons. I think I'd be scared of Brazil because we already know how good they are, and we've already seen it in a game where we won, whatever, but we know of Brazil. We know how that game would go, that Argentina-Brazil game. But Netherlands is our biggest European game that we've had in a long time. Argentina have received a lot of criticism. They haven't beat anyone too good in the 36-game unbeaten streak, no European nations, whatever. This is where they can shut anyone off, and this is how you keep growing in the tournament, which is something that Argentina have done. Can they do it? Let's talk about it. Argentina have not dominated a game, at least in the score sheet, yet. They've had good performances against Australia and Poland, but they haven't had a moment yet like England or Spain or France where they dominated the score sheet by like 6 or 7 goals, which ultimately doesn't matter because look at Spain. They dominated one of their games against Costa Rica 7-0, and now they're, you know, flying back home. Argentina has gotten the job done, but they are yet to dominate. And I've talked about this before, but it's just their midfield. Not having Lo Celso there really killed the chemistry and the form that this midfield have, and now Scaloni has had a huge test for himself. Who do you put in the midfield? I think it's been playing out well with Enzo Fernandez, De Paul, and for sure one of our best pieces in the Argentina team in this tournament, McAllister. Them three and then our attacking trio, I think, is the way to go. I'm very anxious. The game is literally 2 days away. I cannot stop thinking about it. Friday can't come soon enough, and you're gonna tell me, obviously, we know you're gonna pick Argentina because you're biased and whatever, and you know, whatever. But if I truly see Argentina losing, I'm gonna tell you. But I don't. I think Argentina will get the job done. They have been growing throughout the tournament. They started very, very bad against Saudi Arabia. That was a wake-up call. We lost that game tactically, and now Scaloni has his shit together. He made the right call. Every player that performs gets the opportunity to keep on performing. We've seen that with Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, McAllister. They're doing great. They're in great form, and it's only getting better and better. And we gotta bring up that we have the greatest of all time on the pitch playing for us with our shirt. I think he can call up the game any moment. Just, we've seen that against Mexico, for example. It doesn't matter how much the opposition might park the bus or whatever. Argentina and ultimately Lionel Messi can break that deadlock. I can see Messi having another masterclass, or I can see any of our big players stepping up. I don't know who that will be, but I think Argentina has been growing throughout this tournament and they will get the job done. So there you go, guys. Argentina for me will advance, but it won't be an easy match whatsoever. So my final four are France and Portugal, and then Brazil, Argentina, which by the way would be fucking incredible. Let's see how many I get correct. Last time I tied against my followers. My followers got 6 out of 8, and I also got 6 out of 8. But I think I'm confident that I can get 4 out of 4 this time. Let's see what happens. Best of luck to everybody whose nation's still in the World Cup, and let's just have a great quarterfinals. Once again, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take care and cheers.